We have attended, I think, is this going to be the 25th year?
So I have never missed a show.
We've attended 24 times.
Yeah, we try to come five shows a year.
I can't remember when we first started, but it was at least 20 years ago.
We came to the very first show.
I have probably missed not more than 2 or 3 performances in all those years.
We always get the aisle seats because I want them to come walk by me.
That's an amazing part.
I love to play with you.
Best part of the whole show. Suddenly we're surrounded, we're in the show.
Some of the students got to be in the first few rows and seeing the Grinch up close.
But we have to sit now with him at 6'4", where there's a step up behind so we don't block all the 3-year-olds who are trying to enjoy it.
And you see the kids all excited, but I'm like, I'm just as excited, if not more.
You know, it's our Thanksgiving Eve and our Christmas Eve and our New Year's Eve and the special needs show.
We always go to the Grinch.
Always hit the Grinch.
A lot of the kiddos that I work with have never been to a theater with real people on stage.
It's been the only time. Yeah, the first time, and they were mesmerized. They were just...
A lot of them didn't know about the cartoon. It was more the newer version. They liked the live theater better, which makes my heart.
The students got all dressed up. They wore their best dresses.
I had kids coming in with a tie and a top hat.
Having local theater, especially available to the students, it's really important for them to be able to see, oh, I could be an actor on stage.
I think they gain more confidence because they see kids. They see children and they're like, oh,
I could audition to be a Who.
and they look like them. They're diverse.
Thank you very much, Mr. Grinch.
And for Betty Blue.
I will always have a soft spot for Grinch, because it was like my first real professional experience.
When Brooke was, I don't know, 4, maybe 5, she sat in that audience and said, that's what I want to do.
I remember my mom used to tell me this story about when I did ballet. I was just too over characteristic and they were like, can't do it anymore. And I saw that people could do it and be like, show big emotions on stage, and I knew that's what I wanted to do.
And I believe very much in theater. And I think the impact of theater on these kids is just incredible.
That one scene where he's on the sled and it's through the snow.
For my 5-year-old self, where I could not believe what I was seeing.
It was just all black and then there was snow, so I was like, is he actually flying in the sled? So my family's pretty big about Christmas, so we did like a Christmas play every year. My mom was like, you can be a Who, and then I was like, no, only the Grinch. This is like the main body part, which is very furry. That's the headpiece, kind of went around me, and I put makeup on. Those are the kind of like foot boot covers.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. That's about it.
Next thing I know, she wants to do theater, and I'm thinking, no, you're gonna be a biologist. And she's like, no, I want to do this.
It's an experience that everybody should have, and have more than once. So what a beautiful way to get that started. Yeah, I'm getting my BFA and I'm doing theater.
Where?
At Columbia College of Chicago. Yeah.
I personally have Dr. Seuss in my office in the high school.
I read all the Dr. Seuss books.
And so did I.
Something that I have on my front doors right as the student walks in, like, oh, the place that you'll go.
My wife used to read The Grinch at Christmas time. It was just a tradition to do that.
Go home, and even the kids that can't read, they're reading it because they've memorized it because we read it so much. To me, it's ageless. It doesn't matter. Any person of any age could really learn a lot from him.
And you think about the generations he's affected. My grandmother read Dr. Seuss to my dad read him to me.
My parents read me the book, and then I wanted to see the play.
It is important that as many kids as possible get to see the play. They remember the Grinch. They will never not remember the Grinch.
So in December of 2011, Daisy was 7 years old. I had the opportunity to be like a parent chaperone for Grinch, and to that point theater had been a barrier for her because she doesn't sit down, she's not always quiet. All the etiquette had been a barrier. Being someone whose life is in the theater, being a theater educator, a stage manager, this was hard. I mean, it was a hard thing to think like, oh, maybe she'll never see a play. Like, how could that be, right?
We love coming to the Grinch. We've been coming to the Grinch for 10 years, I think, since they started the sensory-friendly Grinch. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually found out about it through Jonathan's teacher's aides at school. And she says, do you guys like the Grinch? And I'm like, well, yeah, who doesn't?
The fact is that it was the first time that we were able to go do something that most families just take for granted.
I like to go see plays a lot because it's fun.
I love that he's green.
You loved it. He's green.
Harry.
He's hairy. What else?
And he loves me in a way that I'm special.
He loves that you're special.
What's been beautiful for me as a parent, right, is to see, because sometimes Daisy's World can be a little bit restricted, is to like see it expand when we're able to do this, sort of to see this moment of availability and accessibility and connection.
My 17-year-old, when he first came, was 7. It seems like as the years go on, he's able to sit a little bit longer in his seat and enjoy the show much longer than in years past.
The Grinch and the Globe doing this here in San Diego, the first major production of anything being sensory friendly, and now it's normalized.
We're actually really here to share this experience with everyone who's here, and I think ideally that's what theater is every day, right? I think it's amplified on that particular day.
Doris, welcome Christmas Day.
The Who's have gotten the better of me. So the Grinch has stolen all of their presents, right? And nonetheless, they've gathered themselves and they've held hands.
It's not just a family coming together; it's the entire village.
And that's when I get a little choked up. So I teach and I coach football. One of the messages that I take from the Grinch is tolerance and acceptance.
It's about kindness.
It just highlights what's best in all of us, I think.
For me, it's like seeing every character in the movie.
Do they have a sense of community? Do they support each other and help each other?
Every year it's special, every year it's touching, every year it's moving, and every year it's important.
COVID erased everything.
My son was devastated because he couldn't go see the Grinch.
I think you all had a radio stream.
That was like an olive branch out. Here's something normal you can do that you do every year. And it was like, like a breath of air for us. Like, oh my gosh, we actually get to do this.
And we put our Grinch shirt. So does that make us sound kind of dorky?
No, I mean, we've been doing this 25 years. We're way past dorky.
Yeah, we listened to that several times.
You and me.
What? Yes, we did.
I just think it's not measurable, the impact it's had.
It does bring the spirit of Christmas more alive. For me, when I came with him that one time, it was so amazing. I felt like the tree was out, people were just lolling about, and you just feel it. It's in the air.
I mean, she used to have to drag me kicking and screaming to go see holiday lights and do different, because those weren't part of my family tradition.
When I think Grinch, I get emotional.
It brings us all together. It doesn't matter what part of San Diego you're from, like everybody loves the Grinch.
Is it the magic of Dr. Seuss?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It just warms your heart. Especially if you know the story about Dr. Seuss going to the zoo and some of the trees he uses and some of his inspiration was from San Diego.
Ted Geisel being a local man, and they were just good friends of the zoo and the Wild Animal Parks. And I thought he was an extremely wonderful man. So to see his plays, it's pretty special.
And it's really a point of pride, I think, that this is a San Diego originated art piece.
It's a San Diego treasure.
I think that's a huge deal.
Yeah, we can't miss it at this point.
No, it's not allowed.
It was a family tradition for us, so I cannot imagine how many families have seen it every year.
I love it for us.
I think it's an institution at this point.
I mean, in our lives, iconic.
And I hope it never goes away.
We love it.
Yeah.
What makes his heart grow?
There's love.